What's up, it's your boy Reemus. Welcome back to Reemus Boxing News, where we cover the latest trending topics in the boxing world today. Today we're speaking about or recapping what happened on the weekend between one of the world's best fighters, Canelo, Saul Alvarez, and Triple G. And as we know, they had their third fight and the results were favorable to Canelo, right? And leading up to this bout, there was a lot of intensity that really mimicked and reflected the intensity of their other bouts a couple years ago, but it got delayed. The third fight got delayed due to the pandemic, right? And in this fight, Canelo said, I want to knock Triple G out. I won't be satisfied until that's done. And he kind of lived up to not the statement, I guess, because he didn't knock him out. He won by points, but he did live up to the promise that he would try to do that, because in this fight, he was swinging, coming forward with overhand power punches, coming in with the hooks. But I would say Canelo looked and appeared and sounded a lot more dominant than he actually was, because a lot of the time he'd come forward, the crowd was very raucous. They were every little thing, even if the punches didn't really land, the crowd were really excited. But he did have some dominant moments. Triple G, on the other hand, he didn't look like his usual self, which makes sense because he's much older now, right? So we didn't have the Triple G that we've had in the past, but he showed us snippets of that. Like sometimes he would get Canelo up against the ropes, he would go to the body and throw that over, like he would throw the the uppercut to the head, the hook to the body, just like the good old days. Then he'd throw that overhand right, like that looping shot, which, by the way, you can watch a breakdown of that on my channel, where I break down Triple G style. But anyway, I would say, to wrap it up, because I'm not going to make this one long, in this fight, Canelo looked much more comfortable around this weight class. And I personally, I would want to see him stay at this weight class for a little bit longer. Just get a bit more dominance, you're the undisputed champion. Really enjoy that experience rather than testing yourself too much against the guys at the upper weight class. Yeah, so Canelo got the points win. I believe it was unanimous. Yeah, it was unanimous. But a lot of people said, I think one of the scorecards were like 115, 113, and people thought it was a lot more, not closer, like a lot more dominant than the scorecards reflect. But Canelo wants to fight Bivol again. He said, I wasn't 100% for that fight, and maybe there's some truth to that, because after this fight, apparently he had, it was said in the press conference that he had bad hands. So he aggravated his hands, the cartilage in his wrist, to be specific. He aggravated it in this fight. And then that enabled Triple G to come on a bit more in the later rounds, 8th round, when Canelo was also getting a bit tired. But yeah, me personally, I would like to see him stay at super middleweight for a little bit, dominate there. And then if he gets some fights where it's like, it makes sense, it will make a lot of money, it probably is an easy type of win for him. Me personally, I think those are the type of fights that he should take at 175. As for Triple G, he would still actually do well at the top level, despite looking a bit older, of course, than he was when he fought Canelo before. He does look a lot older to me. He does look a bit slower, a bit less explosive. There's a little bit less killer instinct from him. However, I think he would still beat a lot of the top guys at 160. And if he decides to stay at 168, he might even do well at that weight class. I think that's a bit risky for him, but maybe he wants to challenge himself too, but I think middleweight, go back down to middleweight and just fight there. But really, you could say there's no point to it, because he's done what he needs to do. Maybe it will be retirement time for him soon. Yeah, because I don't think there's much out there for him. But I want to know what you thought of the fight, what you think of the landscape, middleweight, middleweight landscape. What do you think is next for Canelo? And do you think he can beat Bivol in a rematch? I probably think it would be a tough one. Going off the last performance, I don't think he can beat Bivol again. But if he does, he would definitely be, well, he already is an all-time great to me, but he would definitely be moved up the list in terms of the greatest fighters that ever lived. So comment down below and let Reemus know. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.